Hello everyone, Rabbi Shields, Associate Rabbi here at Temple Sinai. This week's value that springs from the Haftarah is achrayut, responsibility. This Shabbat we celebrate or mark a special Shabbat called Shabbat Chazon. And the value invites us to live out the Shabbat and the weeks ahead. And the value of achrayut, responsibility, is found in the opening chapter of the book of Isaiah, and it's one of the most powerful and in many ways uncomfortable readings of the year. This Shabbat is known as Shabbat Chazon, the Sabbath of vision. It comes immediately before Tisha B'Av, when we remember the destruction of the first and second temples and many tragedies throughout Jewish history. Isaiah holds up a mirror to the people, and what he sees isn't a just society that has made mistakes. He sees a society that has lost its moral compass. The people are still bringing sacrifices. They're still observing the holidays. They're still showing up for worship, if you will, but something essential is missing. God says, "What need have I for all of your sacrifices?" That's a very shocking, startling question, because the problem wasn't that the people had stopped practicing their religion. The problem was they had separated religion from the way they treated other human beings. Isaiah also says, learn to do good, seek justice, relieve the oppressed, defend the orphan, plead for the widow. In other words, if your words don't shape your life, then you've missed the point. That's where achrayut, where responsibility comes in. Responsibility isn't just about taking care of our obligations. In Judaism, responsibility means recognizing that our choices, my choices, affect someone else. The word achrayut comes from the same root acher, the other. And some Jewish teachers point out that embedded in responsibility is an awareness of the other person. Whether or not that's the historical origin of the world, who knows? But it is a beautiful spiritual insight. We become responsible when we stop asking only what's good for me and begin asking, how will this affect someone else? That's the kind of society that Isaiah longs to build. And I think it's the community that we all are part of and long to grow and deepen even more so. Responsibility begins in a surprisingly ordinary way. It's checking in on a friend who's been unusually quiet. It's noticing the person standing alone at Kiddush and inviting them into conversation. It's volunteering when no one else has stepped forward. It's speaking with kindness, even when it's easier to criticize. Every interaction is an opportunity to reflect the values we claim. Belonging doesn't happen by accident. It happens because ordinary people take responsibility for creating it. Someone makes room in a row at prayer. Someone introduces themselves to a newcomer. Someone offers to help. Someone reaches out after noticing an absence. That's achrayut in action. Isaiah's vision isn't meant to make us feel guilty. It's meant to wake us up. It's because he believes something remarkable, that people can change, that communities can change and deepen their understanding and living out of their values. The future is not a fixed one. In fact, this Haftarah ends with hope. Isaiah envisions a Jerusalem that will once again be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. The prophet doesn't just diagnose what's broken, he paints a picture of what healing can look like. So here's my invitation for this week as we step into the Shabbat of achrayut, of chazon, of responsibility, of commitment. Ask yourself, what is one thing that is mine to do? Not everything, just one thing. One person to encourage, one injustice to notice, one act of kindness to offer, one conversation to begin, one way to help build further the kind of community we hope to continue living in and deepening. Because the Jewish future has never depended on a perfect people. It depended on people filled with a sense of achrayut, of responsibility. People who understand that faith isn't only what happens in the sanctuary, it's what happens when we leave it. May this Shabbat Chazon give us the vision to see the world as it is, the courage to imagine what it could become, and the sense of achrayut, responsibility, to help bring that vision to life. Wishing you an early Shabbat Shalom.